Hello, and welcome back to my Pokémon LeafGreen Wedlocke. In the last episode, I got my first Pokémon, Bulby, and I received the Pokédex from Professor Oak, and I got some Pokéballs, and now I'm ready to find my first encounter. Let's see what we have. What is my encounter for Route 1? Anytime now. My encounter for route number 1 is... it's a female Rattata, so that doesn't count as my first encounter. Going by the rules of the Wedlock challenge, since my starter Pokemon is female, I have to find a male Pokemon as my first encounter. So let's see, will this be my first encounter? It's another Rattata, and it is a male. Not really what I was hoping for. I would have preferred a Pidgey. But I have plenty of other chances to catch a Pidgey, so it's not really the end of the world. Rattata can actually be pretty useful early on in the game, though, because they have pretty decent attack power and really good speed. Later on in the game, they're not necessarily quite as preferable. But I'll make do with it. Alright, captured my first wild Pokemon, Rattata. Bites anything when it attacks. Small and very quick, it is a common sight in many places. Definitely is. I've run into 3 so far, the only 3 wild Pokemon. Okay, so... Again, like I said before, I don't know if I'll be having a nicknaming theme, but whenever I can, I'm going to try to have some sort of nostalgic nicknames for my Pokemon. And since Rattata's kind of like a mouse, and since he's a male, I'm going to name him Fievel, after the American Tail movies, which came out very early in my childhood. I actually don't remember the movies very well, but I remember I used to like them a lot, and I have a few memories. I remember that No Cats in America song. I thought it was a weird kind of concept that at the time I was pretty young, I wasn't thinking about it, and I thought, why would they think there are no cats in America? There are cats everywhere. But it's been so long since I've watched the American Tail movies, I have to go back and find them and watch them, sort of relive my childhood. Okay, Bulby going to level 7. Leech Seed. Okay, so as I said before, I will be imposing a level limit on myself. I don't want to raise my Pokemon's levels any higher than the highest level Pokemon of the upcoming gym leader. So the first gym leader I'm going to face is Brock, and his highest level Pokemon is a level 14 Onix. So for this section of the game, 14 is going to be my level limit. Now the way that's going to work is I'm going to have my Pokemon at level 14, at no higher than level 14 when I enter the gym. Which, that means that if as I'm going through the gym, if my Pokemon gain a couple other levels, then that's fine. As long as they start at that level limit, or below that level limit, when I enter the gym. So if Bulby starts out at the gym at level 14, and by the time I get to Brock, he's going to level 15, it's okay. She's going to level 15, excuse me. I need to remember that Bulby is a lady. I'm just not used to it. It's kind of hard, or it's kind of rare to get female starter Pokemon. I'm just gonna raise Bulby up another level, I think, and then after that I'll start raising up Fievel a little bit. So I think what I'm gonna do here is, since this section will just be some level grinding, I'm going to speed up through this part of the video. And so I will be right back. I will see you when I'm done raising up Fievel, I think, to level 5. Alright, finally Fievel at level 5. I don't know if you can tell when the videos was all sped up, but that Pidgey just scored 2 critical hits in a row. One on Fievel and then one on Bulby. That's the kind of scary stuff to expect in Nuzlocke and Wedlocke challenges. Critical hits can be your best friend and your worst enemy. Okay, so now let's heal up again. I'm trying to decide where I'm gonna go next. I think... Let me pull out the map. Town map. So I could head toward Route 22 and get a Pokémon. I think I could get like a Mankey, or a Pidgey, or a Spearow. Or I could go up on Route 2 and catch something. Also on Route 22, there is my second rival battle that I could have. He's gonna use a level 9 Pidgey and a level 9 Charmander, so I'm definitely not ready to take that on. I'm not even sure if I will take it on, since it's a totally optional rival battle. But I do want to at least go over there and get my encounter. But I think first I'm gonna head up Route 2. Just to see what I can find over there, and then I'll come back. Unfortunately, during those early stages of the game, it's going to take some grinding to get all my Pokemon up to a decent level. Oh, I have to talk to this guy first. The old man. Here we go. Well now, I've had my coffee and that's what I need to get going. What is that red box you have? Ah, so you're working on your Pokédex. Then let me give you a word of advice. Whenever you catch a Pokémon, the Pokédex automatically updates its data. You don't know how to catch a Pokémon? I didn't say that. I suppose I had better show you then. Yes, so this is the old man who teaches you how to catch Pokémon. And in Red and Blue, he is actually an integral part of the Missing No glitch, which I'm sure most of you already know about by now. Without getting too in-depth into how all the programming works, though, basically when you do the old man glitch to get Missing No in Red and Blue, when the old man goes into a battle, it puts the old man's name in place of where your name is. And so it has to store your name somewhere. And since you're in Viridian City and there's no wild Pokémon on the land, your name gets stored where the wild Pokémon would be. And there's basically, for those of you who don't know, a way to glitch out the game where if you surf on a coastline, like on the coast of Cinnabar Island, where it doesn't know what to load for wild Pokémon, it will actually use the hexadecimal code for your name to load the list of wild Pokémon. And so you can do all kinds of experimentation with different names and get all sorts of hilarious results. Although at the time when I was really young, it was frightening. It's like the result, like some of the glitched Pokemon, and especially the corrupted Hall of Fame that results if you catch Missing No. For those of you who don't know, you can find all sorts of videos and information on the internet about it. But there are people who do whole video series on just glitching out the first generation Pokemon games, and they're actually quite interesting. Okay, so my first encounter on Route 2 was a level 2 Rattata, but I already have a Rattata. So, because of Dupe's Claws, I don't catch it. But now, my first encounter can be either male or female, so that doesn't matter in this case. Okay, so I got a male Pidgey. Good, I was hoping I'd get a Pidgey. Well, I still have to catch it, so it's not guaranteed yet. But, we'll see. Okay, I think that's about as much as I can weaken it. Pokeball. And Pidgey was caught. Now I have to think of a good name for Pidgey. I'm not totally sure. What should I name it? I don't know if I have anything nostalgic to name it. Let me think about this for just a minute. Okay, I've thought of one, and it's not necessarily the best name, but trying to go with things that are nostalgic to me. I watched Looney Tunes a lot when I was a kid, and I liked Tweety Bird. I mean, Tweety wasn't my favorite character, but I always thought it was interesting because he had those big eyes and eyelashes and little squeaky voice. I always thought he was a girl at first, but it turns out, no, he's just a baby bird, and that's why he's got, like, the big eyelashes and the big eyes and the little squeaky voice. So, for this male Pidgey, Tweety is a good name. Actually, let me look at, I haven't looked at Fievel's nature yet. Sassy. I don't remember what that one is. It might be a neutral nature. I don't remember. I'll have to look that up at a later time. Naughty nature. I'm not very good with knowing what the natures are, unfortunately, so I'm not sure what naughty is either. I'll look these up later and maybe revisit that in the next episode. But I mean, I know some obvious ones. There's modest, up special attack, down physical attack. Adamant, up physical attack, down special attack. I know timid is up speed and down physical attack. And I know hardy is neutral. I know a couple of them are docile is neutral. So let's see. Well, I think I'm gonna have to pad the length of this video a little bit because unfortunately there's not too much I can do until I do some more grinding. So I think, well, first let me go to the Pokemart. Maybe get some potions just before I forget so I have them on hand. And then I'm going to go over to Route 22 and I'm going to pick up my first encounter over there. Actually, I might as well buy just like 3 antidote. Again, I'm glad I have Bulby, who is immune to being poisoned. But the others on my team will still need some antidotes. Oh, also, I want to pick up that hidden item over there by that cut tree. I remember in Red and Blue, it was the first hidden item I found before I even knew that there were hidden items. It was hidden in the tree back then. And I just walked over to the tree. I didn't even know, because this was before I even knew that the trees were cuttable. I just walked over to the tree and pressed A and like, oh, it's a potion hidden over there. I was kind of proud of myself for figuring that out, because at the time I wasn't paying huge attention to detail as far as looking for hidden items. Okay, so I am just going to stay in this patch of grass and not do the rival battle, at least not yet. I might, maybe, if I raise my Pokemon levels higher. And let's see what I get here. So it has to be a female Pokemon that I haven't caught yet. So let's see what my encounter for Route 22 is. Oh, Rattata, that doesn't count. Okay, let's see. Now, will this be my first encounter? It's a Mankey, but is it female? No, it's not. So, unfortunately, Mankey, you do not count. I wouldn't mind having a Mankey, too, though. I was just thinking, if my first encounter is a female Spearow, then that's not going to be well balanced. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's a male. Okay, that's good. See, I wouldn't want a pairing of 2 normal and flying types, because in the Wedlocke challenge, I'm restricted to keeping my Pokemon battling in pairs, so I can only switch between the pair. And so, type coverage is very important if you're going to be restricted to those Pokemon in a longer-term battle. So having 2 Pokemon of exactly the same type with exactly the same weaknesses is pretty much the worst case scenario, especially since Pidgey and Spearow kind of have similar move pools on top of everything. Another Mankey, but it's male. I need a female. I'm really hoping for a female Mankey. I forget, I think they might be able to get Nidoran here too. Alright, female Mankey. That's good. As far as type coverage goes, let's see. I don't know that any of them really cover each other's weaknesses. Okay, perfect. But they can at least, they at least don't share, I don't think, any of the same weaknesses in common, so that's good. Throw a Pokeball. Let's see, what am I going to name her? I mean, the first nostalgic thought that comes to my mind is Abu, the monkey from Aladdin. But Abu was a boy monkey, so I don't know if I can do that. Well, how about this? Since I don't really feel like I can name her Abu because of the gender, I'll name her a different character from Aladdin, which is Jasmine. After Princess Jasmine. I was never really big on the Disney princesses as a little girl, and, like, I know most of the time, you know, the little girl always wants to be the princess, but I always identified more with, like, the comic relief characters and the cute animal characters, which is why, like, I liked Abu way better than Jasmine when I was little. But I have to say, ooh, Adamant, that is very nice for Mankey. Awesome. But anyway, I have to say though, Princess Jasmine is one of my favorite Disney princesses, though. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because she wore pants instead of a dress. I don't know. I was always kind of like that. I was never really a super girly girl. I never liked dresses or skirts, really. So, next on the list, next on my agenda of things to do, would be to raise up my Pokemon a little bit in order to potentially prepare for that rival battle. Let's see what my team is looking like. I could raise Bulby to level 10. Or I could just focus on training up Tweety and Jasmine. Let's see what stats are like. I mean, Jasmine has decent special defense, it looks like, for its level. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little more training, which I hate that this video has been so fairly short on content, but it kind of has to be done. There has to be some grinding done at some point in the beginning. But I think I'm going to switch. I'm going to do a little bit, I'm going to speed up the video, I'm going to do a little bit of grinding this episode so that I can break it up, and then I'm going to start the next episode with another grinding montage, and so that it's not ideal. I'd rather have a little more content, but in these early stages, I think that's the best way to split it up. So I'm going to do some more training, and I will, when I'm done, I will come back and sign off for this episode. Okay, I stopped speeding up the video just so you could witness that bit of scariness. Like I said, the worst possible thing to happen in a Nuzlocke or Wedlocke. Critical hit. I don't know if I think she can handle it. Because I can't really switch out for Tweety. Although I'm not liking those tail whips. A critical hit on our side would be nice. Okay, well, at least this Rattata's going for tail whip again, so I get another free hit. Okay. Whew. Okay, on that note, I think it's for the best that I cut this training segment a little short. I think I'm gonna stop there. I'm just gonna go heal up again, and then that'll be it for this episode. Man. Jasmine, you've impressed me already. But please, please don't scare me like that anymore. Okay. Well, so here's what my team looks like now. I only raised them up a couple levels. I'm gonna try at the beginning of the next section of the next episode, I'm gonna try and level some of them up to level 10 maybe. That might be getting a little ahead myself for Viridian Forest, but I'm thinking if I want to face off against my rival, which I might want to, I would like to not get destroyed, but maybe I won't even battle him. Well, I'll decide that by next time. So, thank you for bearing with me through this not so content-heavy episode, but I will see you again on the next episode of my Pokémon LeafGreen Wedlocke.